So maybe we can go to England to actually figure out the next collection. That
Why not?
great.
Why not?
Everyone, I am very pleased to be here with Simon the Wolf, Mr. Simon Wolf. Thank you so much for having us in your booth.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. So on Watch DNA, we're all about educating our community about watches, but also about all the accessories available for the watch lovers out there.
Yeah.
And so obviously Wolf is a brand that is well known in the accessory segment. So quickly, there's a lot of people that know about the brand and a lot of people that don't know about the brand.
Yep. We're a 190-year-old company, actually 191 years this year, and that's 5 generations of the same family, and I'm the 5th.
Yeah.
So I've been around in the business since I was 19 years old.
Okay.
It all started in 1834. My great-great-grandfather came up with this idea. He was a silversmith, and he decided to put his silver into boxes, and that was the genesis of the business. Fast forward about 160 years, and we started looking at ways to take care of watches. We'd always made beautiful jewelry cases and made great watch boxes, but the watchwinder business I always felt was a little underserved. So we looked at how a watch is influenced over a period of 24 hours. And then we said, okay, let's engineer what happens to a human walking around with a watch on their wrist over 24 hours. And so all of our modules work on a 24-hour basis. There's activity and then there's rest periods.
Really? Okay.
What that means is your watch, when you're wearing it on your wrist, has a certain amount of activity, you move. But these days, we walk down the street with our phone in our hands. We drive a car, we sit like that. We're not sedentary, but we don't move as much as we should to keep the mainspring having some pressure on it. So a watchwinder from Wolf is an ideal solution for keeping your watch wound when it's not on your wrist.
Okay, so one question, and I know Kag has a few questions for you. I already know how you sit there. So obviously we're looking at the future, and then do you have any model that you have that you proud to launch now that you want to show to our community?
Yeah, well, there's several. About 4 years ago, we launched the Rocket, and the Rocket is the smallest watchwinder for travel on the planet.
Okay. Do you have one around here?
I have it right here. Yeah,
Let's check it out.
What I had to do was find a way to re-engineer everything that's inside a normal watchwinder. So that means the drive shaft, the gearbox, the battery, and inside here is a computer chip that sits on a PC board, printed circuit board. So all of that had to be reduced in size. And so we came eventually to this, which is incredibly compact. It actually is the same volume as a watch roll. It's a little shorter and a little wider than a watch roll. So it is very, very small. It's got a lithium battery, so it's great to travel with. It does 900 turns bidirectional. So it's keeping most watches, nearly all watches, wound. So you can see here, and it's got a lovely finish to it. And you got the back here, the on-off switch. Yeah. And you can actually daisy chain these together, so you can have a whole set of them if you wanted to, winding your watches. But of course, it's so small, it fits in your bag, either your luggage or a carry-on.
Obviously, it's a great product, but I would call it an entry level for somebody that doesn't have a watchwinder and wants to start with his first watch to take care of it when he doesn't wear it. So.
And especially if they like to travel, because it's so compact and you can plug it in anywhere and you're off to the races. Yeah.
Rolf, I have this question to you. For anyone that wants to buy their first watchwinder, what are the criteria that they need to look into before making their decision?
So what you can do is you can go to our website, wolf1834.com, navigate to the bottom and there's watch specifications. Click on that. You then put in the make, the brand of the watch and the model, and we then populate that with how many turns per day and what direction. So that's the sort of starting point. Then you can decide between a pre-programmed watchwinder, which this is pre-programmed, and the entry-level winders that we have are pre-programmed. So you don't have to think, you just turn it on and it goes.
Yeah.
This is 900 turns bidirectional.
Okay.
I always recommend, this is actually sort of an add-on winder. If you really wanted to start, you go for a single British racing, or you go for a app-controlled Earth, which is something else we should talk about because that's all controlled by an app. And then you have the ability to choose how many turns per day and what direction. And the unique thing about a Wolf is that we count the turns. So the watch brands tell us how many turns the watch needs to take a reasonable attention on the mainspring. So we don't make that up. We get it from the watch brands. We put it into my database. So
You are in conversation with all the watch brands. We will find out.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So we have that information. So that will lead you to making that decision on what watch winder you might need. So it starts there, and then it is aesthetics. We have lots of collections, lots of styles, lots of looks. And so you could choose from a British Racing Green or a black or an Axis, which has got a copper, a sort of a mesh copper faceplate.
That's one that really attractive.
Yeah, that's called Axis. You know, a watch has an axis, so we named it Axis many years ago. And I can actually just show you here, if I turn it off, you see it goes back to the start position. So you can put the cuff in any position, it'll always go back to that position. So if I turn it on, I can then choose how many turns. So this is set at 950. Sorry, my finger's in the way, but you can see it's going all the way up to 1200 turns per day. And then I have directional control. This is clockwise, anti-clockwise, and then bidirectional. You see the 2 arrows there. It also has a start delay. So if you have a watch with a power reserve, you can take it down to here. This is 24 hours.
Yeah.
But you can go down to 6. And what that means is it won't engage the program that you've set until 6 hours have elapsed.
Okay.
That means that the mainspring won't be given any extra. So this is called Athos.
Okay.
It's covered in a bio-based material, so we don't really use leather anymore. We've moved away from that. It's not good for the cows, it's not good for the planet, and it's not good for your health if you eat too much meat.
Okay.
So this material is a bio-based, it's a combination of corn, the waste from the corn industry, bamboo, and we also use a lot of apple waste as well. So it's an amazing material. Looks and feels just like leather. We have another collection in the front.
And I don't know if you noticed, but it matches perfectly my shirt. Yeah. I'm a green guy. I love green. Yeah.
So this is a fire and security rated safe.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, it's a UL rated.
Yeah.
And it's got as many winders in it as you like, up to 20.
Okay.
So if you had 20 winders, you wouldn't have any drawers. So if less or more winders means you have less or more drawers.
And for the drawers, can you custom made or custom which one?
Yep, there are different inserts that go inside.
Yeah.
Okay, but more watches or more places for jewelry or cash or whatever you would be putting in there. Yeah.
So one question, are you going to be launching kind of like an upgraded version of this product in the coming years?
Upgraded version. Well, this is pretty much top-end luxury.
There's a lot of timepiece as well.
Yeah, it goes. We have another design that we're working on, which is a bit larger.
Okay.
And it comes with a cabinet, so you can have it in a wood cabinet or a bio-based leather material cabinet.
Maybe the questions, the quantity of what you decide, because as you know, when you start to become a watch collector and aficionados, usually you cannot stop, and so there are a lot of people have multiple.
And when you asked me that question earlier, and you were saying, you know, which watch winder, and you know, we tend to say a single winder, but I want to say a triple, because then okay, it's a good sale for the company, but it means they're going to buy another watch. And I love people who love watches because we take care of the
There's many occasions. That's what I love about watches. Is for me, it's not about the timepiece. For me, it's about the story and the events that happen when you purchase, receive it as a gift, things like that.
But I have many watches, and I have to say that I'm not an aficionado. I love what they are. I love the fact that they've got this beating heart inside, and they are so strong. I mean, you can drop a watch, you could throw the watch across many of them you can throw across the room, and they still work. It's an amazing piece of miniature engineering.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know too much about the movement, so please don't ask me about that.
I am nuts.
I am very much how it looks, how it feels, how it looks and feels on my wrist. Of course, there's sentimental value as well.
Yes.
I buy quite a few watches, so there's sentimentality there, but it's because I just love it and I wanted it, so I could buy it.
Good, beautiful. And what can we expect? Obviously, this is this year, and this is an amazing product. But is there anything, any little detail that you can give us, maybe for the near future about Wolf, that you know, some exclusivity side?
My marketing director is standing over there, and sometimes when I'm asked this question, I blurt something out that's actually a secret. I did it a while ago. They're like, "What are you doing? It's a blinking secret with you behind it." We have a new collection coming out at the end of the year.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Which is, it's revolutionary in the way that it's finished. I can't tell you any more than that.
Problem. So maybe we can go to England to actually figure out the next collection.
Why not?
Great.
Why not? I mean, maybe you could have an exclusive, but we launch the launch with you.
All right, that sounds
Yeah.
okay. Perfect.
Maybe.
Listen, I really appreciate it. Cactus, do you have any questions?
So far, no.
No, it's okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. You are lovely videos. Real a pleasure.
Yeah, lovely meeting you too, sir. Thank you very much.
And yeah, wish you all the best for the next few days.
Thank you.
And good luck with everything. And you guys make sure to go check it out, their website, and also on watchgnl.com we'll have the full article as well, so you can discover the brand.
Wolf1834.com.
Yes, 100%. Thank you again.
Cheers. Thank you.
See you later, guys.